Yeah.
Hello? Captain! Where is everyone? Ha! Water! Real water! Mirni, is it really you? Last Suraj remembers. A hole opened up in the plasm and pulled us through. Where is the captain, Our ship, the Bonnie Spriggan. Did we make it out? Did he follow? Velehk Sain, Molag Bol's hard-hitting pirate king. If he followed us out of Coldharbour, if he takes these seas, we're doomed. No ship or port will be safe. Please, will you help us? We have to stop him before it is too late. Captain One-Eye, she'll know what to do. Help us, and I'll make sure she cuts you in for a share of our plunder. The ships came down by those cliffs to the north. I think if the captain made it, that is where she'll rally the crew. Go on ahead, Longstrider. This wet cat needs to shake the water out of his ears before he's fit to scamper again. But you tell the captain Suraj is coming. I won't abandon my crew just because we're finally back in Nirn. The Destroyer, they call him. Captain of the Caterwall. As cruel as they come in Coldharbour. He failed his master in battle during the plane melt, so Molag Bol sent him to recover the Crown of Bones from Captain One-Eye as punishment. You met her before? Good. Suraj wasn't sure how to bring up her, condition. Wait, she mentioned you. Yes, you faced Molag Bol with her old crew, didn't you? What luck! Ha! Perhaps Suraj will survive this after all. Losing a dark anchor is what Suraj hurt. Sain still carries a lust for vengeance in his black heart for the one that bested him. A certain, wait. What did you say your name was again? What? Wait, really? Velehk Sain went at his master's behest to secure one of his dark anchors of Nirn, and you're telling me you're the one who defeated him? Wasn't that you? I could swear he used to curse someone just like you. Suraj is impressed. But this was on dry land, yes? Maybe he's different sort of beast once he takes to the sea. All the more reason to stop him before he does, Longstrider. It should be easy if you've done it before, eh? Suraj was part of Sain's crew first, before he fell in with Captain One-Eye. When the worms absconded me to Coldharbour, the Pirate King mistook me for a common house cat, kept me as his pet. Suraj is not proud to remember it. Cag scooped me up like plunder the one time he boarded the Caterwall. Thought he was saving some poor lost cat. Once it was safe enough to talk, I spoke up to thank him for his mistake. Definitely scared him. I've been part of the crew ever since. Happens as often as you'd think, Longstrider. Suraj doesn't take much offense to it. Most times, for a sheet of my size, things turn out better if I just stay quiet and play stupid. Here as in Nirn? Well, a whirlpool opened up on the azure seas. Whoosh! Captain One-Eye cackled and sailed us right in. Somehow, she knew it would get us out of Coldharbour. No one knew it would drop us from the sky. Or that Velehk Sain would dare to follow. Suraj was up in the rigging when the Bonnie Spriggan went under. It's how this one flew so far. Last he saw, the Caterwall did not divert course. Hopefully, the rest of the crew fell in the water. Not everyone is so skilled at landing on their feet. Suraj traveled on business for Governor Fortunata of Kavach, sent to settle some accounts down in Senchal. Was taken prisoner by some worm cult patrol along the way. Suraj has no love for Coldharbour, but working for the governor, it wasn't much better. It does please me, and intrigue me. Suraj was one of her long-suffering accountants. All that gold, and in the end, it couldn't protect her. How did it happen? Oh! I see. After all the time she kicked Suraj around, it seems fitting she would fall to a single swift strike from the Black Hand. Well, hail Sithis, as I suppose they say. The Destroyer, they call him. Captain of the Caterwall. As cruel as they come in Coldharbour. He failed his master in battle during the plane melt, so Molag Bal sent him to recover the Crown of Bones from Captain One-Eye as punishment. Losing a dark anchor is what Suraj hurt. Sain still carries a lust for vengeance in his black heart for the one that bested him. A certain...
Here!
Rest a moment. Then we'll find the others. Wait. Who approaches?
Is this really Nern? Malakath, it's been so long! I forgot that dirt and the ocean smelled like this.
Too bright. This place is too bright.
Sithis blind me to meet a familiar face in dire times. Me crew is in rough shape. Might be you've come to help us. You know old One-Eye always pays. This place doesn't stink of the Thracian Sea. Where are we? The sisters? Solstice? Then the whispers we heard of a new plane meld were true. But we're back on Nern. That means Captain Sain sails my waters now. We'll scuttle him back to the Azure Seas before he claims this island for Coldharbour. Will you help us? Captain Sain's ship landed in the cove north of us. Scout ahead through the caves, board the Caterwall, and find somewhere to place this rune. It's one I've been saving just for him. Did you happen across any of my crew on your way here? Always did land on his feet. Captain Sain may have captured the others. Watch for them, but try not to get spotted. He'll kill him if he smells trouble. And take my grappling hook. Use it to get through those caves and board the Caterwall unseen. It'll fare better for my crew's survival if no one spots you. Stay hidden from Captain Sain's watchlings and silence them if they try to squeal. Place that rune on the Caterwall's deck somewhere near the supply stores. Then come back in one piece. It explodes. Won't set it off before you report back, but it should punch some nice holes in that nasty ship of his. Repairs should buy us time enough to get our crew back in shape and launch an attack before he sets sail. Let's hope. Captain Velehk Sain. Maybe he's the biggest bastard you'll ever meet, but I'll respect his title till we manage to take it from him. Had he not hounded us for his master's crown of bones, we might have helped slow or stop this second plane meld. And give that tyrant what he wants? No. Old One-Eye's never been good at that. I'll let Sithis take me before I bend the knee to Molag Bal himself, let alone one of his washed-up lieutenants. Besides, I owe it to what remains of me Lost Fleet crew. Some left when freed from the curse. Others fell apart when we dropped from the sky. That's the cost of being a walking skeleton. I'm lucky these two pieced me back together just before you showed up. We'll do the same for them soon enough. Plenty you can do with a mind for sabotage and a pocket full of black marsh magic. Like that rune I gave you. We got wind of a black gem quarry or some such wickedness. Planned to sail close and launch a raid by land, if you can believe it. Kept us on the run, aye. Being trapped someplace so wretched for so long either kindles your decency or kills it stone dead. Lucky we had one another to keep each other's flames alive. First plane meld stranded most of them in Coldharbour. We rebuilt my ship and vowed to escape back to Nirn together. Wasn't quite sure how we'd manage that. Suppose I should be thankful this second plane meld got me out the same way I got in. Cag made a list. Look it over if you like. He crossed off those poor blighters who didn't survive the fall. All else are missing until we hear otherwise. Same with those from the Lost Fleet. Though we can piece them together if we find their bones. I won't lie. Been a rough go for old One-Eye and her crew. Running, hiding, hunting, starving. Keeping out of Captain Sain's grasp by nothing but our wits. Hoping we'll fare better now that you're here. Well, we're a long way from Alton Coromont, aren't we, pirate? Seems so long ago. Can't even remember the sounds and smells of the swamp. Sight still burning with those endless waves of azure plasm. But it's good to be back in my home plane. Can't rightly explain it, pirate. Much as I've wished that I followed you out, just felt like there was more I was meant to do. And if I'd left, I wouldn't have collected the fine folk that make up my crew now. Just hope it was worth it. You've a knack for coming along when you're needed. Whatever the reasons for that, be it Daedric or divine, I won't think about it too hard. Captain One-Eye knows when to thank the fates and keep moving.
Don't know if we can sail with just us few, Captain.
If we even have a ship fit to sail, we'll think of something.
Looking drained, Merc. Top yourself off. You packed a potion for this, right?
I got an intruder! Tell the captain quick!
I'm with you. Let's do this!
Someone's here! I'll tell the captain!
Roll out of there! Stay ready. Never know what else might be headed our way.
You need strength, Captain. One Eye is planning something. I'm sure of it.
That's Captain One Eye to you. And how right you are. This prisoner will do.
Longstrider, over here! Captain One Eye sent me after you. Wanted your report, and wanted to ask you another favor as we're spread so thin. Suraj supposes you placed her rune just fine. Did you chance across any more of our crew? The Bonnie Spriggan needs all hands. Quartermaster Zynark? Oh, that slithering tyrant. If I weren't a humble Alfiq, I'd use this bell to lure her somewhere quiet and cut off her hissing head. But Suraj isn't one to defy the good captain's orders. To dig up the bones of the old Lost Fleet crew before they wash away in the tide. None of us are fit enough to fend off the scavengers that gather where they fell. We'll need all hands once we're fit to sail. But if it were up to Suraj... Kill the quartermaster. Oh, Suraj recovered our ship's bell down by the water. Find somewhere quiet to ring it, and I know she'll slither out to investigate. But it is your choice, Longstrider. Bones, blood, or both, if you're feeling productive. Talk to Captain One Eye, Longstrider. Suraj thinks maybe he spoke out of turn, suggesting you defy her orders. But you came back alive! That's got to count for something! To piece them back together, of course. Need as many hands as we can get to sail the Bonnie Spriggan, yes? It seems eerie, I know. But those Lost Fleet rattlers are as much a part of our crew as anyone else. Curse or otherwise. Just fine! They don't eat, don't pick fights, pull more than their weight, don't have much to say. Besides Argenta, of course. Can't say if that's because she's soul-shriven or if she was always like that. Suraj didn't think about that. Where on the ship did you place the rune? Ah, aft of the captain's cabin. I know where you mean. Don't worry, Longstrider. Prisoners and the press gang aren't allowed up there. Unless much has changed since Suraj sailed on the caterwall. Perhaps the distraction will help them escape. No idea. Some ancient magic, maybe? But trust me, it has a special effect on harvesters. Captain One I found it among the ship graveyard where she rebuilt the Bonnie Spriggan. Must have come loose when we fell. Lucky for us, it landed here. Zainar tried to board the Spriggan once, yeah? Salvus, the sailor on watch, rang it to warn the rest of us. Roused her into a right frenzy. Maybe it's something only her kind can hear? If you ring it, Suraj is certain she'll come hissing out to find you. To piece them back together, of course.
Your crew come to save you. I'll feast on your soul.
You leech. Thank you, stranger. Captain One Eye sent you, didn't she? I'll follow soon. I never thought we'd make it home. Adrolir, though, he always held on to hope.
Move it! You could brew something nice with that.
Glad you made it back, pirate. The crew's patched up enough, and my Bonnie Spriggan's next. If we can get on the sea before the caterwall, we can strike her before she makes it to open water. Where did you place that rune I gave you? That's what I like to hear. Suraj tells me that when he passed on my orders, he might have put another far more dangerous idea in your head. Both? Well now, you're very ambitious, aren't you? If only you'd been with us on the Azure Seas. Might be you'd be the captain now instead of old One-Eye. Glad to have the others back. Still willing to help us get another leg up? Another choice between two matters. Talk to Argenta first, then Suraj. They've more insight than old One-Eye. Either or both of these tasks will help us in the battle ahead. Whichever you choose, I'll thank you no less. Since you're well clear of that ship, it's time to set off my rune. Shoenox and Zilnek.
Mara's rosy backside, Captain! Where'd you learn to make something like that?
That's just how we do things south of Morrowind.
Got work to do, pirate. Captain says Suraj and Argenta have more for you to do, though. Heard it might involve sneaking. Sure don't envy that.
You're here about the ones I found, aren't you? Sailors, no. Prisoners, no. Both ready to break their shackles. We could help break them free and take on more hands for the Spriggan, yes? Yes. No, not on Captain One-Eye. Never, never. Unshriven, on Daedra, among Captain Sain's crew. So near mutiny, but something held them back. Made myself known to try to help. They chased me back into the shadows. Someone else can help. Maybe you? In the caves there. Old smuggling tunnels, they must have been. Go down, through, and across a wooden bridge. Oh, but beware the watchlings. If they see you, it will be all the harder to get the mutineers to safety. Did you speak to Suraj? Captain wants you to speak to Suraj. He is small and easy to miss, but he is right there. Eyes everywhere, yes. Always watching, always reporting. But there is one eye bigger than all the rest, lit with the cold, burning gaze of Coldharbour. It grows all the more vigilant if the watchlings catch a single glimpse of intruders. The mutineers, yes, and you as well, with your heart set on helping. Stay unseen. Silence the watchlings and pluck out that great eye before its blue gaze falls on you.
Don't be offended that I snuck back on my own in case you got caught, Longstrider. I'm never going back to the Cathar. But listen, on my way here, I hid in a crate and found a piece of Coldharbour's teeth. Big, wretched siege weapon. Hits with the very hatred of Coldharbour. Blows against the ship are ruinous, and those against crew are fatal. No idea what it would do to Velehk Sain and his lot, but Suraj would love to find out. Spot on. I used magic to mark the crates with the pieces, since I couldn't carry them off myself. Find them in that cave behind you. Then we'll build it on the Bonnie Spriggan. And then, we'll be the ones spilling blood on the water, yes? Go get those components for the siege weapon, Longstrider. Or do what Argy says. Suraj isn't your captain. Figure it out yourself. I'm trying to catch some fish. Someone's got to make sure this crew gets fed. Ah, yes. One of my favorite charms. Look for little paw prints lit by magic. Eh? Had to keep it subtle so the Caterwall's crew wouldn't know we were up to something, yes?
The captain will have your horns if he sees you milling about like that.
Hurry up. Captain says we need to get moving. Anyone stands in our way, I'll cut us a hand. Don't account for the wind, you won't hit a thing! Hurry up. Captain says we need to get moving.
Been too long since I buried this blade in someone's gut.
We sailed all the way to Coldharbour for this!
You asked for it.
Captain!
Hurry up. Captain says we need to get moving.
Better be satisfied during this madness.
You want to die? Fine.
Anyone stands in our way, I'll cut us a hand.
Someone's here! Tell Captain Sain!
What do you want me to do? Raise his corpse?
We need to leave before we end up like him.
Someone's here. Not one of One Eye's.
Shut up. I'll handle this. You get one warning, stranger. I bite. And if you stick around too long, Captain Velehk Sain will take you prisoner and make a meal out of your soul. Now get lost, before I decide to eat you first. You're not with Captain One Eye. I know her crew, and I've never seen you. This is some sort of loyalty test, isn't it? That thrice-damned observer! I told them it was watching us, didn't I? Well, now we're all going to die! An all-seeing eye watching our every move. I've wanted it effect for some time, and this lot would have convinced me, if not for that horrid thing. And it's guarding our weapons, so we can't even smash the anchor gem that holds it in place. You, I suppose. It doesn't know you. Might not see you coming. If its gaze falls upon you in the next room, I don't know what will happen. Help us, and we'll help you take down our captain. But any mistakes might doom us all, so be careful. Seems like that observer has no idea you're here. You'd lose that advantage if one of us goes with you. I just want to get out. If I'd known Captain Sain treats his crew as well as he treats his prisoners, I'd have just stayed a prisoner. I was held somewhere much worse. Serving aboard the Catwall was my passage out of that wretched place. Captain Sain and I both displeased Velehk Sain. Figured we might bond over that, but the only one he trusts is the quartermaster. So she is dead. I always hated her. That wretched screeching. Used to fantasize how I might get rid of her and make it look like an accident. If you could do that all by yourself, then I'm happy to join your side. Some explosion rocked the catwall and set us back from casting off. Torin happened to be standing closest to Captain Sain in the aftermath. Death by wrath. Not an uncommon fate on the catwall, and it's nothing compared to what he did to Larrick. He was a vampire, like me. Let his hunger speak louder than sense, and asked the captain if we might change course, hunt something else for a change. That got him keel-hauled in the shallows, mulched down to nothing, alive the whole time. Poor bastard.
I never wanted to be part of this crew, but Dees is right. Leaving isn't so simple. But I don't want Captain Sain to eat my soul. I'll take any help we can get at this point.
We did not make it this far across the azure seas just to die as soon as we set foot back in Nirn. We will end up like a swamp jelly in a hurricane if we do not do something.
Disa says it's not so simple deciding to leave. It's simpler than staying and getting my soul devoured by her captain. See if you can put some sense in her.
I guess we'll have to find our sea legs after all.
We're really free. I can hardly believe it.
See? I keep telling Disa, that wasn't so hard, was it?
We will meet you again at the Bonnie Spriggan, and then we will follow you into battle.
This feeling, it's like a weight lifted off me. Feels good to have a weapon in my hand again. Makes me want to spill Daedric blood. We agreed. We want to help you. Where can we find Captain One-Eye? Bit of a jog, but with the Observer gone, and me in the lead, it should be no trouble. We'll be there before she casts off, to help with repairs, and to keep Velehk Sain from taking to the sea. Right, and you better not let us down. We deserve better than continual disappointment. I'll find you myself if One-Eye doesn't deliver, friend. See you on the Bonnie Spriggan, pirate. Don't keep us waiting.
A word, pirate? Before we take to the sea and draw swords. Fine job rousing those mutineers. Disa got here just before you. Quite the spitfire, isn't she? So long as she doesn't eat any of the others or make a habit of mutiny, she'll make a fine addition to the crew. Well, are you ready? Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Between what Suraj and Argenta asked you, what all did you get done? Then our chances are better than ever. I've just one more thing to ask before we head to battle. The crew needs a lift in spirits, a call to arms, a speech. I figure you're just the one to give it. Aye, you think your efforts have gone unnoticed? I've been rousing and rallying this crew all across the Azure Seas. They're tired of hearing from old One-Eye. They want to hear a fresh voice. They deserve to hear from you. Someone told me in the crew that you killed Captain Velehk Sain before. Whatever you say, they're eager to hear from you. As am I. You've changed quite a bit since old One-Eye saw you last. Suraj. He was captive on the Caterwall before he joined our crew. Moloch Baal sent his pirate king to defend a dark anchor. Suraj says you stopped him. Don't know if you did it alone or with help, but Word has it that it's your name he curses. And he'll curse you every time he comes crawling back from the Creatia. I've always said if you make an immortal enemy, your name will live forever. Funny, isn't it? How these things come together. The captain failed his master. His punishment was being sent after me, to reclaim the crown of bones. As Suraj tells it, it's you who sent him after us. And in that same way, it's you who brought us home. Aye, well, I won't hold any of it against you. Never had the stomach for Shunate. When Sithis sends a storm of destruction, I tend to sail with the wind. Go on then, pirate. Speak to my crew. By Sithis, I should hope so. Been through too much to come out the other side the same as before. But methinks you mean something particular has changed about old One-Eye. Is that it? The scallywags I sailed with before were gold-grubbing, rum-soaked pirates, through and through. This lot? They didn't choose what happened to them. They're just as cursed as the Lost Fleet crew. Now I see a curse like that, I itch to break it. Don't be so sure I've lost my love of it, pirate. The belly of my Spriggan is full of what shiny trinkets I could covet in Coldharbour. But I think you're right. When gold runs scarce, the heart grows to treasure other things. Suraj. He was captive on the Caterwall before he joined our crew. Moloch. Gather round, ya dogs. Our friend has something to say.
We will be prey no longer!
Easier to be brave when surrounded by friends.
Payback in blood! We're with you, Longstrider!
All hands prepare to sail. All else, get below deck. That means you, pirate.
Suraj doesn't need to be told twice to stay away while others work. Hey, Longstrider. Do you still have that grappling bow? Captain One-Eye loaned you her grappling bow, yes? Do you still have it? You used it to board the Caterwall and place that rune, yes? Suraj knows that ship well. If you have a grappling hook, there are swifter and safer ways to get between ships than trudging across slippery gangplanks. Or retreat to the Spriggan. When two ships are locked in close combat, you never know where you might be needed. You'll find good grapple points on the foremast of either ship. You seem a clever one. You might have figured out as much on your own. But I am pleased to help, Longstrider. Suraj is more a warrior in spirit than in practice. I smell blood in the water. It's time to fight!
Velehk Sain, captain of nothing. May Nern forget your wretched name. Send him back to the Azure Seas, pirate.
I'll eat your heart raw for what you've done. I serve with the seas!
Together. Captain Sain's precious there. Kill him.
Time for my crew to earn their pay. Take no prisoners this time.
Send those barnacled bastards back to Coldharbour.
When I'm done here, I am unsinkable. You are dead of water. From the deck.
Send them back to the flag.
Flay them alive! Now bring your ship all the way back to Coldharbour. Guessing your sea legs, scar? You can't wait out this storm!
Send those barnacled bastards back to Coldharbour.
What's the time? Some scab. Curse your name.
Now, light those sails. Set that wretched ship ablaze. He's gone. A scab that won't even leave a scar. Set a course back to Solstice.
You are one worth following, worth learning from. But I have pledged myself to the bonny Spriggan, and it is because of you that she sails on. You have my thanks.
I spent so long on that infernal ship. I forgot decent folk like you weren't just a thing for bard songs and stories. I don't know what else to say, but thanks.
Never thought I'd be so lucky to see such bloody retribution. Or to be on this side of it. The way this crew's looking at you is nearly enough to stir even my stony heart. Well done, hero.
We managed to scrape through that battle without losing anyone else. Might be a first for the Spriggan. All due to that speech of yours, I'd bet. First time we've heard something so stirring. Hope it's not the last.
Back to the beach we go, then. Head into the cabin when you're ready. Strange to be on real water again, and not azure plasm. Once we're back, a good, strong drink should help me find my sea legs again.
My crew, my family, they live to sail on because of you. I will not forget this.
Drake, the way you fight, it's inspiring. Adrelir would have written a song for you, I'm sure. But since he's no longer with us, maybe I'll take up writing songs in his stead.
I'm not really in the habit of paying compliments. If your imagination is a tenth as good as your capacity for killing Daedra, perhaps you can pretend I said something really gracious and profound as thanks for saving our skins.
Suraj won't jinx you by wishing you'd been with us on the Azure Seas, Longstrider. But if you had, I'm certain we would have turned and fought back a lot sooner. Ah, it's good not to feel haunted for a change.
Never been one for too many words, so I'll say it's damn fine work, pirate. With as long as we spent being hunted, we forgot the feel of victory. The thrill of it, deep in your bones. We needed this, and you delivered. Velehk Sain is back to oblivion, and that's one less piece of dung floating on the seas of Mundus. I think we all deserve a drink, don't you? You saved what remained of our crew, and you managed to sway those mutineers to join us. Almost worry you're aiming for my job. So I'll pay you well and send you on your way. May Velehk Sain forever curse your name. And by Sithis, may we meet again. No complaining now. This is a time to celebrate.
Ordering us to have fun, are you, Captain?
Haven't had any in some time, have you? Thought you might need old One-Eye to remind you.
Cheers to you, our honorary crewmate. I'm sure you have bigger adventures awaiting you, but the Bonnie Spriggan will always call you one of ours. This crew is my family. I can't bear to leave. But I'd like to make it back to an undaunted enclave at some point. To tell them what happened to us. Adrelir and I always dreamed of being properly initiated someday. I did. I made myself read it in full before we set sail. Every word was so painful, but I'm glad I made it through. Poor Adrelir. He must have been so confused when I kissed him. Right after Captain One-Eye started steering us into that whirlpool, Adrelir must have just come up from leaving the letter in my bunk. But I didn't know about that. I just knew we might die, and I didn't want to die without doing that first. That's the solace I can take from this. It's thanks to you that we avenged him. Every time I feel my scars, or an arrow's fletching slips through my fingers, I'll think of him. And every time I raise a glass, I'll toast to you. Really? You'd do that? I heard there was some sort of song or verse they say as a rite of passage. Undaunted? Oh, imagine Adrelir saying it with me. Undaunted. 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 Thank you, pirate. I needed that. Someday, I'll make sure Adrelir's name ends up next to mine in the Tome of the Undaunted. I'll make sure his memory and deeds live on. Adrelir and I were trying to prove we belonged in the Undaunted, followed a much stronger group into Cyrodiil, and fell prey to an ambush. Ended up the only survivors. Then, we ran afoul of one of those dark anchors and ended up in Coldharbour. The Daedra that took us prisoner were taking us somewhere called the Great Shackle, but it was destroyed by the time we got there. In the confusion, Argenta helped us escape and brought us to Captain One-Eye. Poor Adrelir had never sailed before. You're kidding! Well, I guess I owe you double thanks. Adrelir and I probably would have never made it this far if it weren't for you. Maybe we'd be together. But we'd probably be soul-shriven like Argy. At least our souls are free.
Cheers, pirate! If the captain lets me have a pet on board, maybe I'll name it after you. Can't let this ship fall apart without me. And someone's got to make sure that certain crewmates don't stab things we don't intend to eat. There was this one orc back home I always held a torch for. But that ship has probably sailed, as they say. She never fit in with the stronghold. Always talked about leaving someday. And I could never work up the nerve to ask if I might go with her. My family had aims at hitching me to her sister, starting our own clan. But I never had eyes for Orbesh. That's so. I never was good at fishing, but I guess it's never too late to learn. I've just got to practice, right? Maybe we'll meet up again sometime, and you could teach me. I'd like that.
I do enjoy a drink with these folks. Don't tell them that, though. Attachment is the last thing I need right now. I've had my fill of seeking my own fortune. I suppose I'll stay with the Bonnie Spriggan. It's clear they need me. And it pains me to say it, but I've grown fond of Argenta's cooking. It's the most lucid I've seen her, hovering over a stew pot. By being dumb enough to venture there on my own, seeking to reclaim Daedric relics. Look, my family pressured me into it. It was either that or fall in with the family business, and I wasn't about to work at the College of Aldmeri Propriety. Of course, the one in Oridon. What other college for Aldmeri Propriety would there be? It's run by the Veiled Heritants, by the way. Gods, it feels good to tell that to someone who might know or care. You killed my cousin Tanyan? Ha! That's the best news I've heard in, well, longer than I can remember. I thought do-gooders like you only existed in the stories. Ah, well, cheers to you all the same, pirate.
We did it! Suraj wasn't so sure we'd make it. No doubts in you, Longstrider, but spending so long in Coldharbour, you learn not to hope for nice things. Look, Longstrider, Suraj would doubtless be a valuable asset for one as keen and bloodthirsty as you. But I've made my promises to the Bonnie Spriggan, and I intend to keep them. She's the only one for me. Ah, but you're so understanding. Perhaps Suraj made the wrong choice. No, my Spriggan has natural scratching posts. Well, you are not made for such things. But we'll both be upset if you don't visit, so try to make an effort.
Go on then, pirate. The rest of the crew is drinking. Me? I'm quite sated for now, but I'll let you know if that changes. Suppose I'll stick with this crew for now. Cag said he'd let me drink from him every now and then, if I took his night watches. More than a fair trade. I'm made for the night watch, and I'll get to see if Cag's as juicy as he looks. I don't have some sad story like the rest of these whelps. I've spent more of my undeath in Coldharbour than all my years alive. I joined Velehk Sain's crew as a chance to get out of Molag Bal's prison for vampires that displeased him. Huh. That's a tale for another time. You don't seem to startle easily, but the rest of my new crewmates have been through a lot. They don't need to hear such a grisly tale so soon. But come back, and maybe I'll tell you someday.
A toast to you, a toast to Captain One-Eye, and a toast to that slime Velehk Sain reforming in Coldharbour. May he curse our names forever! To be honest, I don't remember. I'd left home, resolved to make my way to Abba's Landing and join the Thieves' Guild. But first, I stopped in for a drink at this place called the Everfull Flagon. Can't remember much after that. You're kidding? Huh. Just my luck. The others in the tavern seemed like fine enough folk. What little I remember of them. Did they make it out all right? Funny that if I'd stayed, you'd have saved me either way. I thought I might drink light on account of that tale, but I have to toast to you. May your flagon ever be full. But not with whatever was in that mead. I've got light fingers. Can't help but take things from time to time. Like that grappling bow you had? Lifted it off you while you spoke to the captain. Oh, but that soul-shriven saw me. I gave it to her so she wouldn't get me in trouble. Right, I know. But they're pirates. I figure some general plundering might cut my urge to pickpocket. I'll tell Captain One-Eye about it, really. I know it's a problem. I just can't help it. But I like this crew. I want to stay.